All right, welcome back, everyone, to our daily life of reclaiming your supreme authority. Now, we are going to continue on with the scripts, the workshop that we've been following that is in the Unmasking course. And as we go deeper into it, I want you to remember that this is all about you reclaiming who you really are. This is you defining what it is to be the operant power of your reality, what it is to be God of your reality. Something I am really allowing to unravel is that old definition of God, which is very much based in outer masculine, seeking approval, having all these rules and regulations. Because even with the law of assumption, as with anything, it's a framework, but you decide how to do anything you want in your universe, in your reality. You do make the rules. And these are frameworks that we try on, we play with until we find our own way of being. They help us reclaim our power until we realize, yes, even then I have to reclaim even what Neville Goddard said or whoever said. So to me, it's always an unraveling of, I've been through a lot of different teachings or things like that. And all of them are perfect as they need to be, but then ultimately we do decide for ourselves, how do I define my reality? How do I expand? How do I create what I want? How do I truly and always know I'm the authority? How do I set myself free in what was once a self-imposed reality of limitations? What is freedom to me? Because at all times you do have it. At all times you have it. So we are just remembering, but the you that is also watching this in this body, but that is everything. You are already free. So we're going to listen and embody this from a place of already being the authority, already being free, already perfect and complete, just expanding into more.
Finally, you give them the tools they need to stay in their power, to navigate these toxic dynamics with the authority and conviction of a true dominatrix of reality. Here's what I want you to remember, you say. Your voice, a purr that sends shivers down their spines. Every time you feel yourself slipping, every time you feel that doubt creeping in, you say this: I am the power, I am the command. I see through the lies, and I stand in my truth. I do not chase, I do not beg, I do not fall. I rise, I command, I dominate. I am the queen of my reality, and the world obeys my will. They repeat it back to you. Their voice is strong, filled with the power that you've awakened within them. Again, you command, your voice sharp, leaving no room for doubt. Inner Conversation, LLC, 2025-46. I am the power, I am the command. I see through the lies and I stand in my truth. I do not chase, I do not beg, I do not fall. I rise, I command, I dominate. I am the queen of my reality, and the world obeys my will. You nod, satisfied, knowing that they've finally stepped into their power, that they've finally embraced the truth of who they are. This is your world, you say, your voice a declaration, a promise. You are the boss, the master, the one in charge. And from this moment on, you live without fear, without doubt, without options. You live as the supreme power, the dominatrix of your reality, the one who commands and knows that the world will obey. Night. As the session ends, you watch them leave, their heads held high, their shoulders back, fully aware of the power they now wield. They've been transformed, and you know that they'll never go back to the way they were before. They've tasted what it means to be the boss, to own their reality, to live without fear, and they'll never settle for anything less. You return to your suite, the night stretching out before you like a blank canvas, ready to be filled with whatever you desire. You feel the satisfaction of knowing you've once again shown them the truth of their power, that you've stripped away the illusions of doubt and replaced them with the unshakable certainty of their own authority. You check your phone, seeing the messages from your team, from the clients who are already seeing the changes in their lives. Everything is booked, everything paid for, because they know your worth. They know you don't settle for less, that you command the best, and they're more than willing to give it to you. I am the power, you murmur to yourself, a satisfied smile playing on your lips. I am the command, I see through the lies, and I stand in my truth. I do not chase, I do not beg, I do not fall. I rise, I command, I dominate. I am the queen of my reality, and the world obeys my will. Inner Conversation LLC 2025-47. And as you close your eyes, ready to drift into sleep, you know that you've not just spoken the truth, you've lived it. And tomorrow, you'll do it all over again, because that's who you are. The one who bends reality to your will, the one who leaves nothing to chance, the one who is unforgettable, eternal, and absolutely unstoppable. Return to your sweet.
So, something I want to focus on here is when we come into being the authority and we really see the power that our assumptions have, our words have. Like, if every word or thought truly is a decree, and if where we put our awareness is the most holy thing we could ever do, like if where we put our awareness truly is what changes everything in every moment, and we allow ourselves to take on that type of royalty, we allow our awareness, our thoughts, our inner worlds, our bodies, our temples, to become so divine, so powerful. This is where we get into a state of being, like royalty. There's a regalness, there's such a power in every single moment. And when we also really give up the second causes deal, and we give up this idea that there's some outer God or some daddy or mommy that's going to save us, right? Like all these things that have been implanted, and that there's only fullness, there's only perfection, there's only more of who we really are, but there's no one that's going to give it to us. Like, the mirror is not giving us anything. The mirror gives you nothing. The mirror truly gives you nothing. It just reflects your own decrees, your own assumptions. And then, right, if you are assuming it gives you everything, it reflects that, but it always comes from you. Just like no matter where you go or what's going on, the money, the health, the wealth, the love doesn't come from that person. It doesn't come from that job. It doesn't come from these videos. It doesn't come from anything. It comes from you. And the more you reclaim that, the more you realize that in every single moment, and you continue to just notice anywhere, you're still giving up what you truly want to a second cause. You're allowing your awareness to lead to something out there. You are putting your awareness into a neutral, can't do anything for you world. Truly, it cannot do anything for you unless you know that that world is also just you giving it to you. That there are no separate wills. That there is no second cause. And again, to me, becoming the supreme authority it's just a constant rewiring until we kind of hit that melting point of just like the full state of being of like, okay, out here, it really is just a very unconditional but dead reflection. It can do nothing for me. It only gives me everything if I already gave everything to myself. When we get out of these states of waiting, of delay, of still looking for something out there, that's when we really wake up to ourselves. We wake up to the authority that we are. I think a powerful part of this process, like when you really kind of look at the world, and depending where you are, like I'll speak from my own experience, where I have had to really acknowledge my people pleasing, my conditioning, my inferiority complexes, all the things I was like raised with. and had to take accountability for that. I had and still have to revise for the childhood that I don't want to give myself anymore. Right? I take the time to imagine a childhood where I always knew, right, that I was royalty of my reality. I was the decreer of my reality. I was the one deciding. And all these like little places, teachers, family members, some guy, God, that so many different ways it's been indoctrinated, right? Is I also allowed like the little girl in me to get very angry and very furious about the lie she was taught about this outer world. And I've allowed her to have temper tantrums about she was lied to. She was lied to her entire life about reality and the power she had. I've allowed her to get angry, to throw a very righteous tantrum, and to grieve it too, because there were so many things that she was still clinging to, so many attachments that I found where that little girl in me was clinging to the outer world because she was promised. She was promised all these things. If I'm a good girl, if I do this, I'll get that. If I act a certain way, like one day my dad will love me. If I work really hard, then one day I can like save my mom from being sick. The little girl in you, the little boy in you, as we reclaim our full authority, they come with us, and there's going to be attachments that come up. And to me, like, this is what's the kind of parent you want to be to yourself. I'm an honest parent. I trust my child enough that I can lead them, and I trust myself enough that I can lead them through the lie, the manipulation, the beliefs that were imprinted where it's just like, that was just not true. But the gift under every lie and every manipulation, every falsehood, is there is truth. It's then we can see the truth. And when we give our children the truth that they knew all along, there's something so incredible that happens. And there's going to be moments of like my reality is shattering. Everything the child in me, all the structural beliefs and assumptions that I was raised to believe that were true, are shattering in front of me. And as much as we want to know the truth and we want to reclaim our authority and create what we want, that also means all the lies, all the house of cards, they do have to fall. And there's a grieving process in that. And then having the emotional capacity to feel that with your inner child, to feel that for yourself, and kind of when it all falls apart, knowing that what has always been yours, like your ideal wellness, your ideal love, your ideal home, expression of being, your ideal vocation, your ideal whatever, we're not rebuilding, right? We're not like putting it all back together. It is a process of it collapses so then we can remember. And then having the patience and the trust to go within and be with yourself in these meditations and really just ask yourself, okay, if all of that wasn't true, fine, but then what is true to me? And then giving it to yourself, having the courage, having the bravery, especially when that inner child's like, wait, what? None of that was true. And reality starts to get shaky, and there might be terror, there might be fear. There still might be places that child's like, but I didn't like it, but it was normal, right? It's what I knew. So holding their hand, being with them as you decide, as we've allowed this to collapse, here's the truth underneath. That there's only beauty, there's only love, there's only prosperity, there's only wellness, there's only freedom. And then having the patience that when that is seemingly tested, the next day, right? The inner child in you is like, but are you sure? Because like, I'm pretty sure I have to work for money. I'm pretty sure I have to, like, this is good, this is bad. I'm going to be having the patience, having the trust in yourself, but with power, doing it from an empowered place. Reading things like this, so you can get in a place where you know how to decree. You know how to really, like with your whole body, say, no, we're not doing that anymore because I know this is our truth. We're not doing that anymore because I know this is the way for us. We're not giving into that anymore because I know with certainty, right? This is our world and we decide. And every time you do that, you are building a strength, you're building your confidence that you truly are the supreme reality. And then as all second false gods fall, just being with the younger parts of you, taking them with you, and becoming God for them. Really saying like, no, I actually know what's true. I really am the one dictating. I really am the one decreeing. I really am the one deciding and giving it to us, whatever it is that we need. And as you kind of go through these stages and you grieve and let them get angry, let them get upset about what they were told was true. And even though it didn't feel right in the body and it messed a lot of things up, trusting they will align to what's true because they did know that too. Just like you know it as well. Like that's why just certain information, it hits you and you're just like, oh, right. Even if no one had ever told that to you in this reality, the real you is like, yeah. And that's why you always go within. You always decide for yourself, what is the definition that feels right? It just feels certain. It just feels expansive. Doesn't mean there won't be some like fears coming up that were attached to the old belief system. Having the patience to go through it. Again, that's where I would listen to this or listen to the Reclaiming, the Unmasking course that I have. But as we allow and have the courage to let all these little lies that were holding these little structural realities together, then they're rearranged to the truth. And that's a massive part of this process, is the collapsing of the old and learning how to stay within, stay with your child, stay in your wish fulfilled with certainty, with authority, with confidence, holding on to yourself and your wish fulfilled while everything rearranges and kind of crumbles around you. So as long as you're staying in that state of certainty, even if the certainty is just, I really know that I'm the authority of my reality. I really know that what I am saying and doing and decreeing right now, that is what's setting the tone. I really know that whatever direction I'm choosing within is the direction. And I really know that whatever is happening out here is only shifting to reflect back to me my authority. That's the only meaning I ever have to make. And in that process, I can decree it shifts differently. I can decree, right? It shows me more of who I am, because as we go into the state of certainty and authority, right, the opposite will come in. And that is how we, practice that imaginal muscle of like, this is the thing that's happening. I don't prefer it. So what's the truth underneath that's helping me further assume the state of the wish fulfilled? Because as we go into supreme authority of our reality and our wish fulfilled, and we get to know it in our inner world before it's ever out here, because we lead the way, all the other stuff will be like, so what will this be? What will this be? And it's not about micromanaging. It's not about having to fix every single thing. It's the ones with the big reaction, right? Especially where in every moment we do our best to, instead of the inner child being like, this means I'm powerless, this means I'm doing it wrong, this means like it's not working. That's never what it means. It always means that I'm going to walk my child into what we want it to be, the truth that was underneath. That's where we have that courage to say, okay, this thing is showing up that still told me that I had to act a certain way to get what I want. I had to prove, I had to earn, I had to people please, whatever it is. And no, I don't. No, I don't. This is where I decide I stay right here. I know who I am. And now there's only respect in my world. I'm treated with respect. Now there's only people that extend for me, that rise up to meet me. Now there's only honesty in my world. Now there's only, a world that truly reflects my beauty, that loves my fullness, that loves when I take up space. And again, having the courage to, with your child, replace it, revise it. Underneath these towers, people, ideas that are crumbling, what's the one that was underneath it all along? Because it is all you underneath. And as we get to supreme authority and we realize it really is ourselves pushed out, what would actually match you? What would actually match you out there? Not someone manipulating you, not someone telling you to be different, not someone saying you have to do this for me. No, my mirror does not make demands of me. My mirror only reflects who I really am. My mirror only serves me. My mirror only shows me how extraordinary I am. My mirror reminds me that I'm the god and the goddess of my reality. My mirror shows me true beauty, true honesty, true friendship, true collaboration, true harmony. My mirror demands nothing of me. I owe it nothing, it owes me everything because it comes from me. And this is where we get into supreme reality or supreme authority. It's just like, these are just facts. It does owe everything to me because it does come from me, right? It does reflect only me because I'm the source. It is here to change at my decree because that's what it's always been doing. But now as my decrees are empowered, now as they're coming from the place where I actually know who I am and I know what's going on, it's gonna look very different. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and we will continue tomorrow.